In this episode, I'm going to run through the best locations of the Streets of Tarkov to make profit over multiple raids. I'll aim to hit as many of the locations as possible each raid to maximise profits, but the spawn point and possible scenarios in the game will determine which route I take throughout each raid. For each raid I complete, I will sell all the items I find on the flea market, but some items mainly be sold to the traders. Any fees such as new kit, food or healing for each raid will be factored into the total profit made, so you can have an accurate number on rubles made throughout each raid. I'll also time each raid and add up any experience for extra information you may need to use for your own strategies. A really useful tool to help you out with strategies in Tarkov is to use the Escape from Tarkov interactive map. The link will be in the description below. If you want to access the bigger maps such as Streets, Lighthouse, Reserve and Ground Zero, you'd have to pay yearly, which is around about $4, which isn't a lot. But it gives you access to pretty much everything on the maps. So you can filter anything out you want to. If you want to specifically look for weapon boxes, you can find that. It's really good for seeing extraction, spawn points, and anything you can literally find on the map can be found on this interactive map, which is kind of really crucial for new players and, you know, trying to get really much out as possible from each map. So, starting on the strategy itself. So, the spawn will determine which route you take in this strategy on the streets, okay? So, starting off with if I spawn in the orange area, okay, so anywhere around about Nikita area, maybe near Pinewood, all these spawns here. So you can see all these symbols here are the PMC spawns, little arrows, okay. So if I spawn anywhere in this area here, in the orange area, the first thing I look to do is potentially move straight over to Abandoned Factory or into the what's it called? The Hive building, around about here. I don't think it's on this map here because it's quite new. This is updated all the time, so I need to update the Hive, which the Hive is, it's across the road from this building, so it's around about here, the Hive. I don't think it's this building here, this is something else. So the Hive is around this area. So if you get that spawn, the Hive is a really good location to get extremely good loot, but it's a very, very sought after location. There's a high amount of PvP and players will come over there to try and kill you leaving the building or entering. So if you're going to do it, I'd advise you to do it really quick at the beginning of the game or really late at late in the game where traffic's already been through and people have left the server. So once you hit the Hive, looking to move into the Abandoned Factory, there's a marked room which currently you can jump into, which is probably going to change, but for now, whilst you use that, I'd utilise that little bug there to try and get the room, because you can get some really fantastic loot, such as weapon boxes, really good weapon systems, so it's a really ideal thing to do. So we've spawned in this area here, we've gone through orange. What I then do is primarily make a way through the Scav building, across the main street, and then into Lexus if the area is clear. Jumping in this little area to check for any scavs or raiders. I then make myself into the, I think it's the apartment building here, the apartment office building, and then look for really good loot. There's some really good loot to be found in this little room here on the shelves and the back room, and also in this area here. These are the primary locations I check for quick raiding. Once I've hit there, I then come out, make my way down the street avoiding the mines, into the Concordia building upstairs, and then you can find, if I just move across here, that's the underground bit, the Concordia building, you come up the stairs and this apartment here on the second floor, which has also some rare loot as well. Once I've hit that location, I'll probably make my way down to Crash Site, which should probably be an extract for me, or Collapse Crane. So that is the first spawn point. So if we spawn on orange, we'll clear orange and move to red. If I spawn at red, it's pretty much the reverse. I'll spawn one of these locations here. Maybe if I spawn around about this location, I might run straight to Concordia through Lexus. You'll probably get that gear there. Making sure you check the raiders you can either, one way I like to do that is to run around and then jump here and have a look. Be careful, if you do come across here, the guns are going to see you. So I'd advise running all the way around. There's another building here as well you can also hit in red, which is also good. So these are the three locations you want to hit in red. Depending if you just want to smash these two and move on to the most important rooms, you can. But this has some weapons here. So we've cleared Lexus, we then cross the main road again, doing in reverse, the orange route, hitting the Abandoned Factory, and then potentially hitting the Hive and extracting through Damaged House. Because normally if you spawn this side, you probably get Damaged House. If you have some really fantastic loot and you just want to bug out like a Bitcoin or a LEDX or something, you can go Primorsky Avenue Taxi. You could wait there until it comes in, which is about 6,000 rubles. But be careful for spawn camp or extract campers there. It's happened a fair few times to me where I've been bumped. So be careful. So that is red strategy, I call that. Red spawn strategy. And the third strategy I will use will be green spawn strategy. So you can spawn anywhere on this north side of the map, where some of these rooms here you're going to require keys to get into to get the best stuff. Likewise down here, but it's not as juicy, I suppose, in some sense. But here's kind of safe. I find that you can get around a lot free around this area without getting taken down. There's not as much PvP because people like to move to this area of the map where the more loot is. So green spawn area strategy 1 I like to use would be, first and foremost, I would like to try an IT firm office depending on how I feel. If I feel like I don't feel too confident or I want to do a safe run, I'll avoid it because it's a very foot traffic high PvP area, because it spawns some really good loot, but it also spawns a key for the hive in there every raid. So people do go in there, it's really contested. So if you're just looking for a safe, I'd avoid that. I'll then go make myself to the post office building, or the coffee joy building I call it, and then make myself to the pig room, which is located in here, this room right here on the first floor. I'll then go up to the top floor and make way to the apartment, which is on level 3, I believe it is. So 4th floor, drop down to room 3, and then around here is where the some loot is as well. And dropping down to the 2nd floor below that, there's a dead scav which you can loot on the way out, which we'll do this when we get in a raid. As long as I hit that building there, I'll then make my way across through Pinewood, through Orange, hitting Abandon and potentially the Hive, and extracting through Damaged House again. So that is the third route I would take. So that is green strategy 1. But I'm going to call another strategy what I use, green strategy 2. If I spawn in this area once again, I will then hit IT firm, office area coffee, and if I'm feeling I want to change path a little bit, I'll make my way down to Chicania 15. There is some stuff in here also which gives really good loot. It's one of the best buildings on the map, which you require some keys for to get some good loot in here, but there is some good stuff in these rooms down here. You make way through, you've got a dead scav, you've got possibly some stuff spawning from shells, but these rooms each spawn have like a spawn each, also a computer block, so that's a good way to look in there as well. I then make my way across to Concordia, into Lexus, and then probably extract through Damaged House or Primorsky, or even potentially Crash Site. If you spawn on this side of the map, you could probably get Crash Site as well. So depending on how you feel, you could go down Damaged House, or you could just go to Crash Site. So that is the 4th route we take. That is green strategy 2, I call. So essentially there's 4 routes that I like to ideally have mapped out in my head to use depending on where I spawn. But obviously factors in the game, like scenarios of find people, scavs, depending on how much loot I get, or whatever, will determine the route changes. But ideally those are the routes I like to try and stick to try and maximize the loot for as quickly as possible. It's obviously also the key as well to try and do these runs as quickly as possible to get as much loot and as much rubles as possible per raid. So we're going to move on to the gear that we take. So the loadout. The loadout you use is not really important for the strategy because you're essentially going to be going in to make rubles. But you need to have some sort of decent loadout per se to defend yourself, because you're going to find yourself in firefights even if you don't want to. The strategy is to avoid firefights the best you possibly can, but in Tarkov they always seem to find you and you can't always avoid those situations, so coming prepared is good. Having a better kit will always increase your survival rate, but will definitely slash your profits if you die regularly. So find a balanced loadout with a medium range scope on an automatic weapon is probably the best case to find. A decent backpack as well will also help you stash as much loot as possible in each raid. Because the streets is a variety of different loot and different types of places where engagements can happen, it's good to have a weapon system that you can defend yourself and a decent amount of size of loadout in your backpack if you can. So I'd recommend bringing also some rubles as well with you. So probably about 6,000 rubles for the vehicle extract, which you need to pay for, which can also help. One last thing with your loadout I would highly suggest is making sure you have some medical kits. So I kind of have a basic one here. I don't want to spend too much for stuff, but I have a Saliwa. You could drop that down and bring an IFAC, whatever you want. Some sort of Vival or CMS kits that actually repair any injuries if possible. And if you do have injectors, if you want to move on to that, it's a little bit more in depth when you get a bit more serious into it, and you've got to be careful with these injectors, but they can be really useful. If anything, I would suggest these two. Not the most confident and most knowledgeable in stims, but the two I'd say which are quite common to come across is the Proprietal, which is quite common, which essentially will slowly heal regeneration, which is really good. So it has no negative effects really other than hand tremor and tunnel effects sometimes. But everything else is really good. So if you're not really too confident stims, I would suggest taking this because it will regenerate health over time. And then also the Zagustin which actually stops and prevents bleeding. So this is also a good one to have as well if you get a bit more confident and in game. But essentially, you want to have some sort of medical equipment to heal yourself up to make sure you can extract. It's very key to come in with medical stuff. Salop B is also really good as well to stopping heavy bleeds, and it's really quick at doing that. Heavy bleeds will kill you quickly. So having a combination of medical is very important. But your loadout isn't entirely important because this is all about the raid. You can come in naked if you want to with a big backpack and run it. These loots, but obviously streets, there is a lot of scabs about and players. So taking a weapon system and a little bit of coming prepared a little bit means you will increase your survival rate and increase your profits over the long run. Right, let's get started. Raid 1. Let's go. Right, we look like we spawned my collapsed crane. Got Chicanya here, but we're not going to hit that. If you're after, ooh, we have ourselves morphine. So, what I essentially do is prep up as much as I possibly can. Here's a go, Grizzly. Bam. Good start. As much as stuff as possible. And then once I get to stuff I do find, I'm full, I'll just start getting rid of stuff that's not worth money. So, pretty much take everything, fill yourself up completely. And then once you start finding new stuff that's worth more, then you can start getting rid of stuff. So it pretty much guarantees you making a profit. Doors open, we will not be going in there, as it would just tell me that it's already been looted. If someone's rushing this building, they know exactly what's here. Checking that guard. Someone's just hit mine. That door is open, which tells me that room's been looted, so we're not going in. CMS. Checking for ammunition as well. You should be able to see the hive from here, which you can. So it looks like it's still closed, so we might be able to use the key. I've actually purchased a key, the relaxation key, room key. Let's go and have a look. But you can find it in that IT room, like I said. That's totally up to you whether you want to buy the key for the flea market, but if you don't have the flea market, you're going to have to look in that room. Here we go, we're good. No one's been here yet. Okay, let's start getting the good loot, shall we? Moonshine. Look at that. Make sure you check everywhere. On the floor, in these couches if you can't see stuff, high stress and look into them. Got something here which I can't quite see. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. First raid, Bitcoin. Okay, we need to get rid of that. Make sure you look. There's a raven. This. Another raven. That and that. Doll. Look at this quick. Which scav's gonna look to be spawning soon. So already we've got 2 uses of this coin, so I'd really suggest big time. Maybe if you can buy them, I might see if you can go to IT room. If not, have a look best you can. I think we may have just maxed out everything we got from this room. Right, we're good. Finals up there, the windows. We're good, let's go. First raid, I'd say that's a very big success. Very, very big success. Please do not do what I have just done and forgot to place the Bitcoin in my container. If you have a container, just put it in there, okay? Because I'm pretty sure it's worth more than anything you can put in your container. Just in case you die. But I totally forgot to do so. Just a top tip. So that is raid 1 complete. The raid profit we got was 1,513,988 rubles, with 0 rubles fee due to no ammunition spent, no injuries, and food was used from what we found in the raid. It took 16 minutes, and we earned 1,064 XP. So that brings our total right now to 1,513,988 rubles. On to the next raid. That is raid 2 complete, and we profited 422,139 rubles with 0 ruble fees, 17 minutes, and 1,121 XP. That brings our total profit in 2 raids is 1,936,127 rubles. So, on to raid 3. Raid 3, a loss. So unfortunately Raid 3 was unsuccessful, so we made 0 profit of rubles. It cost us 216,920 rubles of fees. This was including rehealing ourselves, buying some gear, buying some kit for the weapon system, and also replenishing the relaxation room key. So I've got one use now for about 100,000 rubles. So that was where the fees came from. It took 5 minutes and we only earned 223 XP. So our total profit now over 3 raids is 1,719,207 rubles. Which is a bit of a going backwards a little bit, but this is part of the game. On to raid 4 to see how well we get on. We've now spawned up by the Commando shopping mall, so we're going to try and make our way through here and hit green route 1. Aha! Well, there's a Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. That kind of brings back my money from the last raid. Yeah, this is style of elevator in the extract here. This is one of the lounges. And I was not expecting to find a Bitcoin there, but there we go. If you're on this side of the map, just make yourself through this building. Well, this is the experience with Tarkov. Raid 4 was unsuccessful, but fortunately we found ourselves a Bitcoin, which gave us a profit of 537,411 rubles. Obviously put in our container, which means we got out alive, taking my top tip from Raid 1. But the fees we had to concur once again is healing ourselves, had to buy some gear and equipment. Luckily I had a weapon and some other bits in my stash, which is always good to hold on to stuff sometimes for circumstances like this. But I still had to buy some other things. So my fees was 252,456 rubles. That time only took 3 minutes in that raid before I got whacked from some guy around the corner. Don't know where he was. I checked that corner, but I couldn't see him. Got XP of 120. But because of finding that Bitcoin, we are now gone up in the green again. So we have a total profit in the 4 raids of 2,4,162 rubles combined in 4 raids so far. Let's hope raid 5 is a bit more successful. Once again, in the wonderful spawn that is Commando from shopping mall. So that's our first bit of loot. Skull, nice. There we go, there's another Bitcoin. Winner, winner. That's 2 in a row, 3 in this episode so far. Strategy, pretty good. Absolute blessing. Courtyard, baby.
Exit located.
Haha, that's a good run. A real good run. Took a lot longer than expected, but we made it. Raid 5 was a success. We made 1,428,479 rubles. The fees we incurred was 62,106. Took 27 minutes. We made 2,053 XP. This brings our total profit to 3,370,535 rubles in 5 raids. On to raid 6.
Day is long and the night is yours alone. You're sure you've had enough.
I knew those doors were open. I knew a player was there.
This life, hang on. Don't let yourself go. 'Cause everybody cries. Everybody hurts. Sometimes everything is wrong. Now it's time to sing along. When your day is night, hold on. If you feel like letting go, if you think you've had too much of this life, well, hang on. 'Cause everybody hurts. Take comfort in your friends. Everybody hurts. Don't throw your hand.
So there we have it, guys. 4 raids in a row, 4 deaths, but that is Tarkov. So in raid 6, luckily we was able to pull out 32,670 rubles, but our fees were 285,750. That's due to me buying more kit and equipment ready for the next raid, raid 7. It took me 12 minutes, I only earned 449 XP. Raid 7, I came out with 0 rubles, but I paid 455,000 rubles for more gear and equipment ready for raid 8. I only last 3 minutes in that raid and pulled out 94 XP. So raid 8, I managed to pull out 39,000 XP rubles by putting them into my container, but paid 117,000 rubles for fees and kit and equipment ready for raid 9. It only took me 26 minutes, but I managed to pull out 1,503 XP for getting a few kills on scavs. Raid 9, once again, 0 profit, 186,000 rubles for fees, and it took me 10 minutes and gained 1,473 XP. So that's 4 unsuccessful raids in Streets. We're going to move on to raid 10 to see if we can potentially get some profit. We are still in the green here, obviously, at 2,397,572 rubles. We've been playing essentially for almost 2 hours now, and we've gained 6,000 XP. let's see if I can make a bit more money in the final raid here. But clearly, the percentage of death is very much high in this little video here. We're showing the true, you know, stats of Tarkov sometimes. So I'll see you in raid 10, and we'll see how we get on. So we spawned on the opposite side of the map, on like green. So we're gonna make our way. Not the best spawn for the last raid, but it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast of the game, I'm afraid. Fortunately, this place has already been taken. Shit, now it's two of them there. Of course, fuck it is. Try and take him out. He is. Ha ha ha! They're both dead. Love that. 31. Goodbye. Look at that. Finally. Got return on some of our loot. Raid 10 is looking up. Grenade. What's he got in here for me? PPM is pretty good as well, actually. God damn, I don't want to get rid of. Oh, you're kidding me. And now we get the. Oh, this is just typical. Alright, looks like we can't take anything else because. Oh, wow. Raid 10, what are you doing? You gotta love Tarkov. So there we have it, 10 raids on the streets of Tarkov. So we managed to pull out 3,974,395 rubles in those 10 raids. We survived 3, but managed to die 7 times, unfortunately. Bringing our fees up to 1,370,515. So the total profit with that deducted is about 2,603,880 rubles. So for 3 successful raids, really putting stuff out, 4 million in 2 hours, it's obviously not amazing, but it shows you even when you do die, majority of the time you still can make profit with these locations on the map. I'm probably going to do this again at some point with a probably higher survival rate, but that is the nature of the beast in Tarkov that you do die quite often. But this does prove that if you hit these buildings, you can find good enough loot to sustain a profit over a lot of losses. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one, whatever that may be.